Hello everyone, welcome back to SAP Technomaniac. This will be the second part of the Git video and I try to explain as much as in this particular video. In last video we discussed about the basic overview of the Git and I explained you what is the simplified Git and advanced Git. We should use advanced Git only. Once you know the advanced Git, you can easily use the simplified Git also. What is the basic workflow in the of the Git flow? And in this video we'll discuss about the different kind of commits. What is commit? Commit is staged, commit all, undo last commit. What is commit along with the amend? What is commit along with the sign off? How these all things with the practical example. Not only the commits, we will see the how pull and push works, what is sync, what is pull with rebase, and how these all the options work. So without wasting the time, let's go into the system and let's get started. Let's start with the commit. There are three type of commit whenever we see in the BAS. First is the commit, second is the commit stage, third is the commit all. There are different kind of commit. We start with these three one. Commit, it will normally commit all the changes which you have staged, and commit stage is also same. So both are the same, but whenever we are using the commit stage, so we are making sure that just verbally that we are committing the changes which is already staged. Last one is the commit all. Whatever you have changes till now done in your local repository, all the changes will be committed. Means only those changes, there is a one clause, if you edit some new file, that will be not committed, that you have to explicitly stage that one and then commit. Otherwise, whenever you do the commit all, whatever the Git currently tracking those files, in those files, if you have made some changes, those automatically committed if you use commit all. If you didn't staged those changes in the staging area. If you edit some new file, that will be not automatically committed. For adding new file, or you are doing the commit for that new file, you have to first stage that one and then you have to commit. For the changes, it will be automatically committed. This is the difference between commit staged and commit all. There is no difference between commit and commit stage, but there is a difference between commit and commit all. Just see quickly one practical example. So you can see I did some changes. So that is the reason as soon as I make any changes in any file of the project folder which I am tracking on the Git, those automatically stays in the changes area. So what changes I have done, I'm not sure. Then I can click on directly on this changes file. As soon as you click, you will get the difference, what changes you have done. If you remember from my last video, I just pulled the changes in the main branch from the Git remote repository to the local repository. I just pulled the changes, but I didn't commit it yet. So you can see there are two lines I have changed, but I didn't commit it yet. If I use here commit will work only for the stage changes. So if I try and go and commit, so it is saying, would you like to stage all your changes and commit them directly? Then you can click never, or you want to do the always, then you click on the always. As of now, I don't want to do, it will not do. Again, if I click on commit and try to click commit, it will not do anything, because in this case, it will commit only those changes which I have staged. Otherwise, it will not commit. Suppose I want to stage these changes. Let me stage these changes. Then you can see commit button got enabled. Either I can commit from here, or I can click on commit and click on, either you can click on commit or you can click on commit staged. Both will work same. If you click on commit stage, before doing any commit, you have to give some message, then only commit will work. Otherwise, commit will not work. Or you can do commit stage also, then also it will commit the changes whatever you have staged the file. So let me give some message. I'm doing as of now in the main branch. Ideally, you have to work with the secondary branch and do the commit commits, and I pull these changes from the main branches. So I have this particular branch, so no need to worry. So what I will do, I will create another commit called second, and I will commit my changes. Let me do the commit using the commit changes, or what I will do, I will unstage the changes and I will click on, now commit button is disabled, I will click on commit all. Commit all will work on those files which Git is already tracking and you have made on those files some changes. It will automatically stage those changes and commit them. Suppose I will go and create one new file. So let me create one new file, temp. I'm not doing anything in that, but I have just created this file. Now you can see there is two changes in this one. One I have newly created. You can see the U here, and here you see the M because you have updated the existing file. Let me use the commit all button. What it will do? As soon as I do the commit all, you can see both the file got committed. One commit in this particular project mail. But suppose whatever I did commit, I want to undo now. So in this case, I can see even I have created that new file that also got committed. Let me go there and undo last commit. As soon as I do the undo last commit, so both the files which I have changed, it will move to the staged one. So still I can see here is the one file which I have in the A means I have created newly, M means I have modified. You can see the commit all is adding the newly added file from here because we are working with BAS. If you use the command line editor and you use the commit the changes or commit all changes, that time new files will be not added. But when we are working with BAS or Visual Studio, even I am doing the commit all, it will stage the newly created file also and it will try to commit that file also. That will work with the Visual Studio or BAS if you are working. But if you are using the terminal and the command line editor, that time it will only aid those files which you have changed and Git is tracking. It will not aid the newly created file. So that is the I had remember from my previous concepts, but now I am showing you with the visual editor where I am not using as of now any command line because it is very easy to work with. So that is the reason I got a little bit confused. So no need to worry. When you use the command line editor, that time it will track only those changes which you are working or you have changed. Newly created file will be not changed. But in this case, when you use the Visual Studio or GitHub and you use commit all, it will commit all the changes newly and change the file. Or you can do the undo commit as well. Now learn about the commit amend. Let's quickly clarify the commit all in the Git and the Visual Studio. If you are working with the Visual Studio, it will be using the internal command first git add all, then it will do git commit. In that way it will not only track the tracked file, it will track the untracked file as well, means newly added file also will be committed. But if you use the command line terminal and you use git commit all, then only it will track the tracked file. If you have added untracked file or there is a new file, it will be not tracked. And commit stage, it will work like the commit, it will commit the only stage changes. So this is how commits are working. Apart from that, we have commit amend. Suppose you have committed the already changes, now you want to add some more additional changes in the same commit. Still, instead of creating the new commit, we can change the existing commit as well. For that purpose, we use the commit amend. Commit amend, if you use directly, most of the time we use if you want to change the name of the commit. Suppose I have committed with the accidentally I have used generally in project we use the ticket number, then we based on the naming convention we change the, like we have the TR naming description, same way whenever we are staging or committing the changes, we have to give some appropriate description of commit. If you want to change those things, then we use commit amend. So if you have last committed, if you want to rename that commit, then you can use the commit amend. And commit staged amend means whatever currently newly added changes which you have already staged that you want to commit, then you use commit staged amend. And commit all amend means it will commit all the changes you've newly done, tracked or untracked. When you are using the Visual Studio or BAS, it will commit all the changes and it will add the changes into the last commit which you have done. So this is use of the commit amend, means whatever you are having the existing commit, it will add the changes in the same commit. Let's see in the system. So you can see we have the commit ready. So now I will do the commit all again. First doing the commit amend. So I will do commit amend with the message name commit, and then I can sync the changes. Sync means it will push the commit to the project one main branch. But as of now, I don't want to sync. I just committed, but I don't want to push the changes. If you sync the changes, this action will pull and push commit from the project one main. But I don't want to commit as of now my main directory. So I will do the cancel, but let it wait, and I will add some text in this temporary file, something, and I will enter. Now you can see now we have the additional changes which is not staged yet. So for that purpose, suppose I want this additional changes to commit in my last commit, means I have already one commit called the second, or I want to rename that particular second commit. So what I can do, I can go here, I will go to commit and I will click on the commit amend. As soon as I will do the commit amend, so it will ask me to either you have to give some name for that particular commit you didn't give. So each time whenever you're doing the commit, we have to give. Suppose I want to change the name of the commit. So let me change the second _1. So I have renamed also, and I have added some additional changes. So let me do commit amend. As soon as I do the commit amend, so what it will do, so it will add the changes in my last commit. But still you can see commit amend didn't work on my changes, because commit will commit only those changes which is staged. Let me stage those changes, or I have to use commit all. So let me do commit all instead of doing that. So commit amend all, but with amend. I don't want to create new commit. I will use the second one only, second _1, but I will add this file as well in my previous commit. So commit all amend. So in that way, second _1, I will be having this in this particular graph. I will be having those changes. So if I will undo my last commit, so you can say not only the annotation.xml file and all the commit I have done and I have renamed with the second _1, those got uncommitted. So still I'm not using, I renamed that commit. So that is the reason I can see second _1, and I have this file with the description. So still I didn't committed the second _1 which I have renamed. So that is the reason I can see. So like that, if you have committed something, let me do commit. If you have committed something and if you want to add additional changes in your last commit, you can do the things. Let me click on sync changes. So what it will do, it will pull and push from your GitHub repository project one main remote repository. So that you can do if you want. If I click on that, it will update your remote repository. The verification, copy the code GitHub to complete the process. Copy and open GitHub. So you can sign in here. Control V, you have to copy paste your code because you want to log in again, and you have to give the authorization SAP. If you logged in, I want to log in again in my GitHub account. Now I am set, because last time when we linked this particular repository, I want to log in again. So that is the reason next time it will ask the changes. Let me see it got committed or not. You are now your device is now connected. So let me open again github.com and open the same project again. My repositories, you can click on here, and you can click on the demo connect also. I'm working with currently project 1. So let me click on project 1 repository, and I can see there is only one branch I'm working with only. Ideally I have to create separate branch and work, but currently I'm working with one branch. Let me click on the annotation file. Since I have committed, you can see 2 files now, and with that text, this one. So in this case I did multiple commit. So in the main branch, what all are the commit I have done, I can check the history also if I want. So you can see I have done the second commit. So let me open the second commit. At GitHub level also you can compare what all are the additional commit you have done. For this file I have added this lines, and for this line file I have created this new file, and I have added this new line. So like that you can compare and see what all are the changes you have done at the GitHub also. And if you want to see here as well, that also you can do. You just have to click on that particular file in the graph, and you can easily compare what all are the additional changes done in part of second one. If you click on second one, what changes you have done, you can see here as well. I have added this particular file which was not there, and I have changed this existing file. You can see M means you have changed the existing file, A means you have added this particular file. So based on when you click on this file, you can see the changes as well. I was working on BAS, suddenly my trial account got expired. So this is the purpose. I have explained you Git. So what I can do now, I can go to the Git, I can create another trial account, and I can pull back the changes. I just want to show you. The creation of the trial account I have already shown you in previous video. I will just quickly do and push the changes from the project 1, then we start working again. What I did, I created the BAS again, I created the dev space again, I started the dev space again. Let me open my dev space. It got opened successfully. Let me go to my project folder, click on open folder, or you can click on Ctrl+P. Let me click on projects folder and create one new folder called project 1. So in that way, let me create one new folder, project 1. Let me come here, open the project 1 folder, Ctrl+P, Ctrl+P, open folder. Let me open the projects folder, then project folder. It will open the project folder and refresh the link. Now I have to clone my repository first, because I have already saved my data in the cloud repository. You have to come to your repository, and you have to come to code section, and you have to copy this particular remote repository. And I want to clone this particular repository which got deleted due to my trial account got expired. So what I can do, I can come to the source console, initialize repository, and click on clone. You can provide the remote repository link here. Where you want to clone, I want to clone in project section. Okay, because in the projects, or I will clone in the project section, then that project 1 will come automatically. Or you can select the project 1 also, so it will be cloned here. So select this repository and you can open this one. So in that way, whatever you have done till now, you can see back again. Even your trial got account got expired, your code will be available. You can open your annotation.xml file, you can see the twmp, everything is available. You no need to worry, each and everything is intact. So in that way, even your trial account is expired, you can back up your code and you can work again with your code whenever it is needed. You can push, pull, whatever you want to do down, you can do. So this is how the Git is very useful and powerful tool even you are working day to day. I have changed back to the my black theme again, Visual Studio, because I'm habituated to that. And now what I will do, we will see the another commit actions. We have discussed about the commit states, commit all, undo, last commit, commit amend, commit states amend, and commit all amend. Now we have 8 co-author. Suppose you are working on this project, somebody helped you during your project, you want to aid the co-author, you can click on aid co-author and add his ID. So in that way, GitHub know not only you work, somebody else also worked on this particular things. Copy changes pages. Suppose there is a one requirement, you are working, you are helping your friend and you did some changes. Suppose I have did some changes here, I added these 2 lines, I tried something and something you did, and but you don't want to push yourself. Instead of that, you want to give this code whatever you have changed to your colleague so he can work on that one. So here it is very helpful. You are not committing your changes, you are not pushing anything, just you want to provide that code changes which help your colleague. So in that case, what you can do day to day, you just have to go to the changes and you have to go commit and you have to copy the page changes. It will copy the changes. You can open another file, new text file, and you can paste your changes. Control V. Once again, let me copy again, commit, copy changes page, all, Control V. So in that way, whatever you have made the changes, it got paste, or you can give this file to your colleague so he get to know you have added these 3 lines. Here if you remove something, that also he will get to know from plus and minus button. If you modify something, this particular entire log file given to your friend, then based on that he can work and he can modify the code. So this is the way it works. I don't want to save this particular file as of now, so this is how we can make the changes and give to our colleague. Not only that, if you want like that, in the commit you want to save, suppose you are not you don't want to save this file through the mail, you can save through the cloud page also, means where you have to provide the cloud link. There you have to put this particular title required and description, and anyone with this link, you can create one link and give to that particular link to that your user. Then you accessing that particular link, he can access what all are the changes you have done. If you are working remotely, different places, you don't have email access or you don't want to download and upload those files, in that case you just can provide the link through access also, through link also he can access that particular page. So this is the useful one of the another things which we should know whenever we are working on Git. So these are the things, and we have commit signed off, commit state signed off, and commit all signed off. So basically, whenever you are committing, at the end of the commit message, it will add your user ID and what is the commit time. So whenever some of the project require, whenever you are committing, instead of normal commit, you should use commit all. So the other user or your project manager or all the guys will need to know this commit is done by this guy and on this date. So it aid whenever you do the commit signed off. So what it will do, it will commit the only stage changes. You have to give the message. So at last you have to give some particular message. At last it will add some line that you can see once you do the commit. Let me give some third commit here. You have to first, you have to stay third. You have to close this one because you are getting the error, and you have to use third commit. And what you can do this time, commit with the commit signed off or commit all signed off, you will do. It will first stage the changes, then commit automatically. So commit stage changes also you can do, or you can commit all also you can do. In that way, if you do the sync changes, if you come to the third commit changes who did, or you can sync the changes if it is required. Let me click on the sync changes, and I will click on the OK button. So the verification code, again it is asking because we have opened new BAS account, so it will copy the GitHub. You have to connect again with the remote repository. You have to paste this one, click on continue. You have to sign in with your account. This is just making sure you are only doing the changes. Otherwise, if some other guys is doing changes, he will not able to push the changes. Now you can see commit is completed. Now you can come to here. Now we have 6 commits. You can click on this 6 commit, and you can see we have third commit here. So if I open the third commit, the only thing is that whenever you open third commit, you will see the additional thing. It is signed off by Ramnivas and my email ID you will see. Anyway, if you send email, most probably I will not reply because I rarely check the emails. Okay. Then what changes we have done, that also it is seen here. So like that way, whenever you do commit by sign off, the additional thing you will get this particular who did this particular commit. If I open my other commits, let me come back and open my second commit. For example, 6 commits are there. Let me open my second commit. You didn't see that kind of information, who did and what is the name of that particular user. That information you will not get if you do normal commit. But if you do commit with sign off, then you will get the user detail also and email ID also. Then in that way we are telling who did. Some of the project have that particular observation, or they place these all the things. Whenever you do the commit, you have to do using commit sign off, so they get to know who did this particular commit. Now let's move to some other things. For example, we have discussed this one. Then changes are simple. You can stage all the changes, you can unstage all the changes, or if you don't want to do this, go with those changes, you can discard also any changes. So this is all the related to the changes. Now we have something called the branch and pull push. Pull push are very simple. Let's quickly discuss pull and push. There are different versions of pull and push. Simple pull and push first we will discuss, then we will go little bit deeper. Pull, it simply merges the changes. What it will do, it will download the new commit from the remote branch and merges them into the local branch. Suppose when you started working, you started with one of the main branch, and you are working with the only one branch, and you started making changes on that particular main branch. But in meanwhile, somebody else already committed the changes on the remote branch. So whenever you are pulling the changes, what system will do, it will download the new commits which you don't have in your system. It will download them and merge with your current changes into your local branch. That is called the pull. So basically you have the A as your base or main branch or base code. Somebody committed the B changes while you are working. Now you did your local commit as a C. Then whenever you commit, you will call the pull. What it will do, you will be having the separate thing called the merge. What it will do, it will combine your B and C. It will create the M, merge commit. So this is how it will work whenever you work with the merge. So you have to make sure, so whenever you are merging means your remote merging, or you are pulling means you are pulling the remote changes. Once you pull the remote changes, it will combine with your local changes if you have done something. And in meanwhile, when you are doing some changes, somebody others did the changes, then you have to merge your changes. Now let's talk about the push. Push simply send your local commits to the remote branch. You did some changes, it will push the changes to the remote branch. So that is the reason whenever we are working, we always have the sync option. Sync, what it will do, it will first do the pull, then it will push. Pull means it will get the data from the remote branch, because it want to make sure if somebody else committed, whenever you are working, then it want to merge that changes. On top of that, then once it is merged properly, then it will push back that particular data. That is the reason we always have the sync option. So you understood sync. Pull means merging the data from the remote to the local, and push means sending data back to the remote repository. So these three we understood. The pull rebase is little bit different. Suppose in this case we have one merge commit is there. I don't want to create the merge commit because it is little bit looks clumsy. In that case, if I know already somebody else committed some changes as part of the B, when I was working my changes, I want to do the commit C. So what I will do, I will use the, instead of the normal pull, I will use pull rebase. What it will do, it will get the data. What it will do, it will get the remote data first, and on top of your commit will be applied. So you have base A, then on top of somebody applied remote B commit, it is already committed there, so it will pull all the data. Instead of merging with the B, on top of B it will create another commit C. So in that way it will be cleaner and linear form instead of creating that separate branches like here. So this is pull rebase work. So whenever you know already somebody committed, you always use pull rebase. In that case, on top of that base you will be doing your changes. Instead of getting that data, merging C and B and creating another branch called the merge, or another commit called the merge, you will be doing directly A, B and C. It is little bit linear. So it is recommended always. That kind of complicated situation come rarely, but once it comes, so we have to make sure it is linear. So we have to do pull rebase and then we have to push. And these are the simple. If you want to pull from the specific repository, you can click pull from and you can pass the repository link and it will pull from that particular remote repository. You can push to the specific remote repository as well if it is required. Then we talk about the merge. Not merge, I was talking about fetch. Fetch means without merging the data in the local repositories, we are just getting the data from the remote and seeing what all are the changes we have in the remote. It has after our first pull, when we did, after our pull, if somebody made some changes, what all are the difference. I just want to check without merging to my local changes. Then we use the fetch, and once we are good, then we can merge later also. We have merge option also. Then we have fetch prune. That is work like fetch only. Whatever the fetch it is doing, it will do exactly. But one more additional thing, if remotely at the remotes, if somebody deleted some branches or files, those files also will be deleted from those branches also deleted from our local repository. So we will be having the cleaner picture. And last, fetch from all repository. If you are working in same project, we are fetching the data from the multiple repositories. In that case, it will get the data from all the repositories and so on. So this is how all the things are worked. When you slowly practice one by one, you will get to know these all the things, and whenever it is needed, you can use this all the facilities available in it. I think we are going so much deep in each and everything that might be not needed in each and every project, but I just want to walk you through quickly remaining things. Most of the things which needed day to day I already covered. Let me go to the branching. We already discussed branch in my last video, how to create new branch, how to merge the branches, those all the things. If you want to delete the branches, you can delete the branches. And rebase branch, same, it work like the rebase push, rebase pull. So this is how this particular branches will work. So branch means if you want to create, or you have to always work with the currently I'm working in the main branch, but always you have to work in feature branch. Then you have to merge with the main branch. You can do merging activity here also, but always recommended the merging activity should be done at the GitHub side after the approval of your project manager or your code reviewer. So this is how the branching work. Then we have the remote, add remote and remove remote. We already know. If you want to add this repository, link this repository with the remote repository, then we click on the add remote. If you want to remove this particular repository from the remote, then you have to click on the remove remote. Then again, one of the more powerful concept, suppose you are working something. Suppose I did some changes here and I added some more lines here, and suddenly I was doing something and the requirement, the actual some other requirement came related to this project. Now this code changes is not important for me, means it is important for me, but before doing these changes I should do that change, then I have to do this change. So other, there is two way. I will I will remove all the changes or manually backup somewhere, or I will do this commit. I don't want to do commit, obviously. That changes should go first, so I should not do that particular commit, but I want to do my new changes first and this changes later. So in that case, what I will do, I will go simply stage my changes in the locally. If I do the stage changes, whatever I did the changes, it will kept temporarily in the local memory. It will be not committed to your Git, and it will be kept locally. You have to give some, provide the stage message name. So I can give stage1 and click on enter. So my changes got stage. You can see I don't have those changes now in the my local file. Those changes temporarily stays. So whatever now I have new changes with me, with the new requirement, I will do those changes, commit those changes. Now I want to work on my previous requirement. Whatever I have staged those changes, I will get back those changes, and on top of that I can work. So for that, I have to go again. I have staged already my changes, means temporarily I have saved. Then I can apply the latest stage. So what it will do, it will again apply those changes on top of your last commit. Might you have to merge your code changes because there may be conflict, but these will be saved locally. It is very useful tool if you want to use. Sometime you work simply somewhere here and there, and suddenly some requirements come, you have to do that requirement. You can stage those changes, complete that requirement, commit those changes, and pull back the changes from stage, merge those changes, and complete this requirement. So this is how this stage is useful. I'm not showing you again a lot of things here. I just want to explain so I can cover most of the things. The next concept is take. Take is useful if you want to have some major release. Suppose I have committed, this is major changes, so I can make this is the take is it. This is version 1. So whenever I have small changes, I can do commit simply. But if I feel this changes is very bigger, I have to indicate somewhere this change is very big. So after that commit which have bigger changes, I can make this is the take. This is the, there is a version 2 of this application which have a lot of changes. So anybody will see those takes, then they will get to know that there are a lot of changes in the last commit. So based on that, if they want to go major release, suppose we have on top of they have done 3-4 commit and there is something messed up, they want to go somewhere back, so they will go always to this particular create take, means it's still here, it is working perfectly. We can go to there, then again we can make the changes, something like that. These takes are useful. Different guys use different ways, so this is the one of the use which I have told you. Now reset, again there are, if once as you click on reset, there is a two mixed and hard. Suppose I have feature branch and I am working on that particular feature branch. I have committed 2-3 times, but I didn't push my changes till remote repository, but I did some mistake. I want to go to my previous commit, then I can use this reset and I will use mixed one. So in that way I will track my changes. If you do hard one, then it will vanish all, it will remove all the changes, and whatever the first commit you have done to, it will go to that particular commit. So this is again, if you want to go back to your own commit, previous commit which you have done recently, and but still you didn't push all the changes on the remote repository. You are working internally and you have done multiple commits, but you want to go from third commit to first commit without tracking the changes, then you can't go with hard, otherwise you have to go with mixed. Again, I'm not showing with example, you will get to know easily these all the things once you work with. And this other function, I have explained most of the things. In this video we have learned a lot about the Git. In last video and this video, I know I can create the separate playlist itself for the Git. That will be not enough. So whatever we need, most of the things we have covered. Even in real time project we don't need these many things, but you should have some idea what is the use of which particular button. So this all the things I shown you in tool. You are working in virtual studio or you are working in BAS, business application studio. Both the places it is very useful. But instead of you instead of using those all the buttons, you can use the commands also. You can use git puts, git pull, git slash, git add all. These all are the terminal commands. If you are familiar with that, you can use that also. But just the namesake, why to work with command, we have all the buttons I have shown you in the buttons. I hope I went little bit quicker at last part because I don't want to invest that much time on Git. I explain this Git things because my trial account about to expire. I also want to save, so I thought why not to show you guys also, so you can save your data whenever your trial account is going to expire. You can save, push your data, and you create new trial account, pull your data, so your all the data will be saved and you can work on the same project even the 90 days is elapsed. This is about the trial account, but real time also this Git is very useful and helpful when you work locally and you want to experiment a lot of things. With that, I think we have done with the Git. We will come up with the new topic in next video. Please like this video, subscribe this channel, whatever feeling, comment it down, share these videos with others as well. It will help me a lot. With that, thank you and happy life.